assembly of the concerned state passes a resolution with that effect with the special majority, then only parliament may create or may abolish the council. Getting my point? Yes or no? So the state has to pass the resolutions, but resolution passed by the state does not mean it is binding on the parliament. The passage of the resolution by the state, it does not mean if the state has passed the resolution, the parliament is now bound to create or abolish. Getting my point? So parliament is not binded by the resolution passed by assembly, but it can only create after the assembly is passed that resolution with the special majority. Okay? Now creation or of council or abolition of council on the effect of resolution of the concerned state does not amount to amendment of the constitutions under Article 368. Getting my point? So if the parliament creates a council or abolish a council, that will does not deemed to be the amendment of the constitutions under 368. So this act of parliament is not to be deemed as an amendment of the constitutions for the purpose of 368. So how it can be passed? It can be passed through the ordinary law-making process. It means with the simple majority. Yes or no? State has to pass that resolutions with the special majority, but parliament has to pass that bill with the simple majority, because that is not amount to the amendment under 368. Am I clear? Yes or no? So this bill related to council creations or abolitions will be treated as an ordinary bill, ordinary piece of legislation. Such a resolution needs special majority in the assembly and simple majority in the parliament. Am I clear? Yes or no? Any doubt? So this is how an abolished state council can be abolished. This question has been asked in mains. Can we move further? Chaliye. Sorry. Now let's see the composition of assembly. So composition of the assembly. The legislative assembly consists of the representative directly elected by the people on the basis of universal adult franchise from the state. So assembly will be composed directly by choosing the people of the state related to their respective representative, and they will be sent into the assembly. The minimum and maximum strength of the state legislative assembly is 60 and 500 respectively. So constitution has fixed the minimum number, what minimum number should the assembly have, and what should they have the maximum number of members in the assembly, that is 60 and 500. But still there are certain exceptions to this which has been given in the constitution itself, depending upon the population of the state. Okay? But some states have been allowed to have smaller assembly, like Sikkim, Arunachal, Goa. They are having only 30 members. Mizoram having 40 members and Nagaland having 46 members, which are been lower than the prescribed limit, minimum limit of the constitution, because there has been allowed, or there is an exceptions been given into the council. Yes or no? Is it clear? So composition of minimum and maximum is given for the assembly, 60 to 500. But it has also certain exceptions to it. Okay? And the constitution has also provided a reservation of seats in terms of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes on the basis of proportion of their populations to the total population of the state. So whatever their population ratio with the total population of the state, so that amount of seat will be reserved in the assembly. Getting my point? Yes or no? Yes. Okay? So the this is similarly applicable to the Lok Sabha also. In the Lok Sabha seat also, the seat of SC and ST has been reserved. We have seen reservation of seats are there, and only the category, only the reserved seats can only be elected by the community who has been belong from the reserved category. Getting my point? Yes or no? ठीक है? So constitution provides for reservation of seats for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in assembly of each state on the basis of population ratio. Am I clear? Any doubt? ठीक है? चलिए. Now we'll see the composition of council. So composition of council. So strength of the legislative council is minimum 40. So minimum number is fixed, but the maximum number is not fixed. It says, the constitution says the council can have minimum number of 40 members, but maximum 1/3 of the total strength of the assembly they can have. So it means they have not fixed the number, rather they have given the limitation. So it says to maximum of 1/3 that of the legislative assembly. So constitution has fixed maximum and minimum limits. So limit has been fixed, but the number is not fixed for the, but actual strength is fixed by the parliament. Getting my point? Yes or no? ठीक है? So council members will vary from 40 to 1/3. 1/3 of the assembly. This number, who will fix the number? Parliament. So the limitation, a range is even given. That amount this, the council will have members. But this is power given to parliament to fix the number. But it cannot cross the 1/3 of the strength of the assembly. This question has also been asked in examinations in the terms of statement. Am I clear? Any doubt? ठीक है. Now we'll see the election to the council. So how the members of councils are elected? So election of council. So they are been elected by through indirect method. Sorry, indirect election. So who participates in the elections of council? So the members were divided. 1/3 members of council are been elected by legislative assembly. So assembly elect 1/3 of the members. Out of the total, 33% were added by elected by council assembly. The other 1/3 members of the council, they are been elected by local government, that is municipality or panchayat, local bodies. Yes or no? ठीक. Next 1/12 member, 1/12 of the member of the council, these are elected by the graduates of the state. Graduates of state of graduations have done for the 3 years and they have been residing in the state. So graduate of a state of 3 years graduations and they are residing in state. So they have also power to elect 1/12 of the member of council. Am I clear? Yes or no? Next. Now next, another 1/12 member of the council. So they have been elected by the teachers of the state, right? But not less than second. It means the teacher should not be in the teaching for secondary level. So not less than secondary level. And a minimum standard secondary level means which class? 10th. So the teacher should not be employed below the 10th class, is not teaching below the 10th class, above 10th or above 10th. So they will get a chance to elect 1/12 member of the council. Is it clear? Now we have a full capacity of the council, or are still remaining? So 1/6 of will be. So last is 1/6 member. So how they will come? They will come through the nominations. So who will nominate them? Yes. So they are been nominated by the governor. On what ground? रुक जाइए. On what? I am coming to you. Be prepared with your answer. So on what ground the governor will appoint 1/6 of the member of council? Okay, next. Practical and special knowledge of what? Sir. Okay. हो गया. मैम नेक्स्ट मैम. Literature, art, science is done. Social service. Cooperative movement, not society, cooperative movement. So there are 5 grounds given on the basis of which the governor nominates the 1/6 of the member of the council. ठीक है? So this will make the total 1 if you calculate. So calculate what will the LCM of this? LCM will be 12. 4 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. 10 or 2? 12. So this is the 100%. So out of the total 100%, 1/3 by assembly, 1/3 by local bodies. मतलब आपका जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव हो गया, पंचायत, ये सब. 1/12 by the graduate of 3 years residing in the state. 1/12 by the teachers who is not teaching less than the secondary. So minimum they should teach secondary. 4th is been by 1/6. 1/6 member were nominated by the governor on having on special and practical knowledge of literature, art, science, social service and cooperative movement. This is a way how the members were to be elected into the or composition of council, we can say. जो ग्रेजुएशंस किया है जिन्होंने, तो आप भी कर सकते हैं वोटिंग. आपके यहाँ काउंसिल है, फिर कैसे वोटिंग करेंगे? काउंसिल होगा तभी तो वोटिंग करेंगे. करेंगे? कहाँ करेंगे? बनेगा तभी तो. तो डिमांड कीजिए कि यू शुड ऑल्सो हैव अ काउंसिल. ओके, तो गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट लिसनिंग. हाँ, वो दैट इज एन डिस्क्रिशनरी ऑफ पार्लियामेंट. Now election to the assembly, if you see council, so 1/3 member elected by the legislative assembly, 1/3 from the local body, 1/12 by graduates of 3 years standing and residing in the state. यानी कि स्टेट से ग्रेजुएशंस कर लिए और फिर नाउ विजिट टू gone for another state for their रोजगार. So this will be given only to those who is living after graduation, they are doing or pursuing their career into state. ठीक. 1/12 member elected by the teachers, 1/12 by the teachers of 3 years. Minimum 3 years they have been teaching, standing and not lower in the standard than the secondary school. Yes. And 1/6 member nominated by the governor from the field of special knowledge and practical knowledge. So this is not the ground. Ground are these: literature, science, arts, cooperative movement and social services. Is it clear? Yes, this is an electoral college. जो अपना नॉमिनेशन भरेगा उसको. This is on the proportional representation with single transferable vote. So those who fill their nominations. तो वो तो अपने पार्टी से चुनेंगे. So you have if you have in future council and still if you are staying in Orissa, not serving the other state, then you will get a chance for the electing, giving vote. Is it clear? Right? Now if we talk about the durations, so if we see the durations, so duration, so durations for the assembly and duration of council. So this will be for the 5 years. Yeah, and this is also subject to early dissolutions. Yes or no? So it can be dissolved earlier. Now when it can be dissolved? So let me give you an example how the dissolution of the houses happen. Right, earlier than the 5 years. When the time of this assembly is it's final, it's been ended with the tenure, so it dissolves automatically. There will be no provisions of dissolving by the governor. That way, when governor dissolves, then only it can come in. No, it will automatically dissolve by the end of the period. But before 5 years, completion of the 5 years, now you can understand this through the parliament also. Lok Sabha के लिए भी आप समझ सकते हैं that when a government who has a majority in the house, on the basis they have formed the government by proving their majority, yes or no. Now suppose they lose the majority by any means. So if they lose the majority, so now what will happen? So there are two conditions for these dissolutions. One, after elections, if no party get majority, means it is an case of hung assembly, or you can say after election this is the one of the case, yes or no. Second case, if there is a coalition government, right? In this coalition government, the party who is supporting the party, any party, can pull back their support and they say now अब हम आपको support नहीं करेंगे. It means they have no majority in the house. So in this case it can be passed no confidence. So first, in case of no confidence, there is no government now. Clear? In this case there is no council of minister because no confidence motion has been passed against the government. Here is an hung assembly. So in this case what will happen? क्या करेगा? Governor. Now this case is known as a circumstantial discretionary, and this is equally applicable to president also and governor also. हंग पार्लियामेंट में भी ऐसा ही होगा जब कोई भी any party is not in a position to claim the majority, right? A threshold limit, when there is a threshold limit. What is the strength of the Orissa? 147, na? So for the example you can understand that it is having a seat in assembly is 147. So for that requirement it requires 77 number of seats. Sorry, 74. Sorry, 74 number of seats to form a government. Take, understand the hung assembly. But any party is not in a position to pass this threshold limit. जितने भी हैं, all the parties who are contesting elections, they all are below the threshold limit. So that will known as an hung assembly, a case where none get the absolute majority. So what will happen in this case? So there are two scenarios. अब क्या होगा in case of hung assembly? So party will try to, so there will be a party which is having this number of seat. Yes or no? एक तो कोई तो पार्टी होगी जिसके पास हाईएस्ट नंबर ऑफ सीट होगा, दो द पार्टी हैज आल्सो नॉट क्रॉस द थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट. So what now governor can do? Governor can call the leader of that party who has an highest number of seats and ask him to prove his government, form his government. So appointed as an chief minister. Take. So now after appointment of chief minister, he will try to make a coalitions with the party to get a support, whatever amount of number he has been short. So we'll try to get support of that number. So if he managed to support that number, yes or no, so there will be a date fixed when a floor test has to be conducted. So that is known as a floor test. It is also a litmus test. Floor test की जगह litmus test भी हो सकता है. So understand litmus test? What is litmus test? Yes, where a paper, litmus paper, when come into the contact with the acid, change its color. है ना? So that is a litmus test, means where you have a power or you have that capacity or not. So the governor will appoint a person, a leader of that to be who has a maximum number of MLAs, can be appointed seats or MLAs, जो भी बोल लीजिए, appointed as a CM. Then there will be date fixed, 10 days or जो भी है. So on the between this, the person will try to gain the majority, the required number, जो भी चाहिए, how much number he is been short of. So we'll try to get at least to that number. If more he can get, that's not an issue. But whatever the number is short, he can get into get win over the MLAs. So on the date of floor test, he will prove that yes, I have a number. So he will show this is my number, and we are proving. This is one way. Getting my point? Yes or no? And if he prove the floor test, so he will be. Now the ministers will be appointed and he will form the government. That done. Clear? Second way. Now suppose there are many parties, but out of that many party, one is the highest, having the highest number of MLAs with him, and one is having the second highest MLAs with him. So what happened? He can submit a letter of support of a required majority to the governor. साहब मेरे पास I have this list who are supporting me, and by their support I am in a position to form the government, means to prove my majority. So that letter will be submitted to the governor. So okay, if you have a total number of this, then prove yourself in the house. So they will, again there will be an appointment will be done and everything appointment. This is one scenarios before in the case of hung assembly or hung parliament. Am I clear? Yes or no? This will be similar scenarios in the Lok Sabha also. Lok Sabha में यही चलेगा जी. That's speaker pro tem. बताया तो था when we have done the speaker pro tem. He has a 3 job mainly. The 2 job is an important. One is to administer the oath to the newly elected members. Second, after oath ceremony, he will help the house to elect the speaker. In some cases, he also administered the floor test. In some cases, means when the house does not have an the party having not in a absolute majority. So in that case, he will be giving. Getting my point? Yes or no? ठीक है? Clear? So this is a scenario. So one scenario when can use governor can use his own discretion. So it becomes discretion because there is no one is in positions to form government. So in the how it becomes discretion, so you can understand through this that consider 2 scenarios. एक जहाँ पर absolute majority है, a case where there is one absolute majority. So governor is bound to appoint the leader of the party who has an absolute majority. He cannot appoint any other one to be a prime minister or chief minister. Yes or no? So this is not discretionary. This is an mandatory. Getting my point? Yes or no? Second situations where there is a hung assembly or hung parliament is there. It means none of the party having a majority in the house. Take. So now it is up to the governor or president whether to dissolve the house or to give someone to try to form the government. So he can call anyone. Generally he call the majority party. Or if any party has submitted the letter to the governor that call us, we are in a position to form the government. These are the list of the members who are supporting us. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? So in one case where he has been obliged or where he has been bound to call only the person whose party having an majority. Another where he can call anyone. Generally he called to the highest, or generally to give the chance to that person who submit its letter to the governor or president that we have enough MLAs or MPs we are just supporting. Clear? So this is how it can use. So in case of hung parliament, governor or president or hung assembly, the both have an power to dissolve the house. So house can be dissolved, right? But elections are so expensive, it requires you can say that financially resource also, and administratively also it requires some huge human resources to conduct, especially the parliamentary elections, Lok Sabha. Yes or no? So generally they do not do that. What they do, they give the chance to form the government to avoid expense. It cure an expense. It incurs huge amount of expense. Yes or no? ठीक है ना? This is a case when there is an hung parliament. But suppose the government, now suppose that in a case of any case, they have formed the government. Now with the support of the coalition's government, they have formed government. In between of the completion of 5 years, if any party who is supporting the government, they may take out their government, right? So if motion of thanks is failed, then the government has to resign. If no confidence motion failed, passed against the government, it means government has to resign. If any important bill of the government is failed in the Lok Sabha, not in the Raj Sabha, but in the Lok Sabha, they have to resign. If the support given by anyone has been taken out, then also they have to resign. So in case of resignation of the Council of Minister, or in case of death of a Prime Minister without leaving a successor, suddenly suppose that Prime Minister or Chief Minister die in the office, so that council is not in the positions, because the council cannot function without its leader, because we have a parliamentary form where the leader is been important, that leader should be appointed. Yes or no? So the council cannot function without the leader. So if there is no leader, or suppose that leader has resigned, so resignation of the chief minister or resignation of the prime minister, as I already said, is considered as an resignation of whole cabinet, means the government will fall. So in death or in case of resignation also, so now what has the options available? So whatever the options available with the governor or president, that are known as a discretionary, circumstantial discretionary of that. Now they are in the down. Now there is no one to suggest them what to do. So what can they do? They can invite. Either they can invite the second largest party. Okay, now can you form a government, prove your majority, and can you run the country? Or he can call any other who showing their willingness to form the government. When anything does not work out, any plan does not work out, scenarios does not work out, then at the last, governor or president will dissolve the house. Dissolution of the house cannot be revoked, cannot be called back. It's irrevocable. So once given an dissolutions, so it cannot be called back. So once dissolved, there will be an election. So ultimately there will be an elections. Am I clear? Yes or no? Okay. So this a case of dissolutions, assembly and Lok Sabha. Is it clear? Any doubt? Nahi? Chaliye. Now we'll see in the case of council. So what is a case of council? So it is a permanent house. What does it mean? It is not subject to dissolution. It cannot be dissolved. Then how its member retire? So the retirement of the member is similar to that of a council of state, Rajya Sabha. Like 1/3 of its members retires end of second year. End of every second. It also means that 1/3 of the members will be elected at the beginning of every third year, because there will be retirement, so there is requirement that members should come into the place. Yes or no? Any doubt? This is an durations or tenure of the assembly and council. Is it clear? Okay. So if you can see here, so legislative having a normal term of 5 years from the date of its first sessions. However, governor can dissolve it any time. During emergency, it can be extended by 1 year. This we have seen in the and this which emergency? National emergency, not in the financial or constitutional failure emergency, means president rule, but not beyond a period of 6 months after emergency is revoked. This we have seen when there is. So national emergency has 5 impact: legislative impact, executive impact, financial impact, duration of the life of the legislature impact, and also on the fundamental rights. So in the life of that Lok Sabha assembly, there will be an increase in a number of life for a 1 year at a time, but not beyond more than 6 months after the emergency has been ceased to operate. So if emergencies end, so within a period of 6 months, if the election is due, so election has to be conducted. Getting my point? Yes or no? In case of president rule can only be in place for the maximum period of 3 years, not more than 3 years. So that it also means that after the 3 years, election has to be conducted. The popular government has to be installed in the assembly. Am I clear? This we have already been discussed. Okay, next is council. So it is a permanent member. Take 1/3 members retire every second years and vacancy it fill beginning of the third years, means 1/3, or we can call 33% of this. Done. Term of each member is 6 years. Yes, because after every third, so it becomes then term. A member can be re-elected or re-nominated by any number of time. So there is no restrictions on the elections or nominations of a member who has already been a member of the council. They can be re-elected or re-nominated. This is a duration. Is it clear? Any doubt? Any question? Okay. Let's move to next. Now if you see the qualifications, so there are 2 types of qualifications. One is constitutional qualifications and other qualification is statutory. That is Representative of People Act 1951 has also provided the qualifications for the council and assembly. And this Representative of People Act 1951 is a statutory law. What is statutory law? Who will answer? Anybody else? Yes. You are saying something. What is statutory law? आप तो जब धीरे बोल दो तभी मुझे सुनने में आता है, तेज में तो आता ही नहीं है. When you whisper, it's whispering sound is there, but when we speak, that sound also gone. What is statutory? Yes, a body or an act which is made by the legislature is known as a statutory. I know you know, but you need the confidence to speak up. Okay? Yes or no? So there are 2 types of qualifications. One is constitutional and one is RPA Act. So constitution, the first is that must be citizen of India. Yes. 25 years is for the assembly and 30 years for the council. So the person who wants to become a member of council, he should have an 30 years, similar to that of a Raj Sabha. ठीक है, और assembly similar to that of an Lok Sabha, 25 साल और 30 साल. And it also says it possesses such other qualifications as may be prescribed by the Parliament. So there is only 3 of the qualifications given under constitutions. Other, it says, other than these 3, other than this, which is respect to the, if you see each house separately, that there will only 2 qualifications. Assembly, citizen of India in 25 years, and council, citizen of India in 30 years. What are the other qualifications that has to be referred to RPA Act 1951? So it says that person to be elected to the council must be an elector for assembly constituencies in the concerned state. What does it mean? It means the only person who is an electoral elector, it means who has a voter ID registered in the state, can only be elected as a member of the council for particular state. Am I clear? Yes or no? Which is again difference from the Rajya Sabha. In Rajya Sabha, any member from any state can represent any state. A person of Bihar can represent Orissa in the Rajya Sabha, because its condition is that he has to be an electoral of parliamentary constituencies. Yes, but in case of council, the person has to be an electoral of assembly constituency. It means he has to be an voter ID registered in name of state, in which state in which council he wants to be a member. Yes or no? Okay. And to be qualified for the governor's nomination, he must be resident in the concerned state. So if any person who has been, if the governor is nominating any person from out of the 5 grounds, he can only nominate only to those who are a resident in the state, not born in the state. Getting my point? The birth is not the criteria. Residence is the criteria, means domicile is criteria. Am I clear? Yes or no? Okay, so this is the first, we can say. Second, a person to be elected to assembly must be an electoral for assembly constituency in the concerned statement, similarly to that of an council. Yes, want to ask something? Okay, so for the assembly it is also said that the person can only contest election from the state for the assembly, the person who is an electoral in the constituencies. A person is residing in the state but he has no electoral register in the assembly, so he cannot be contesting. This is also difference. Getting my point? Yes or no? Okay. And for the registration for the reserved seats of SC and ST, the person has to be member of the SC or ST, can only contest for the reserved seats. The person who does not belong to the category of SC and ST, he cannot contest election from the reserved seats. This is the qualifications for getting elected in the council or assembly. No, I'm not talking about the district. I'm talking about the state. District and states are not same. A state has many districts. Orissa has how many districts? 13, 13. 30. Yes, so it has a 30 state, 30 district. So person residing in any of the district of Orissa can contest any seats in Orissa. Yes or no? Getting my point? Any other questions? No? Clear? Now we'll see certain differences and we will also see the offices of the councils and assembly. So if we see the presiding officer related to presiding officer of the assembly and council. So there will be speaker. Yes or no? There will be deputy speaker. Then for the council there will be chairman. For council there will be deputy chairman. Okay? So how anyone can become a chairman, deputy chairman, speaker, deputy speaker? The person has to be the member of that house, right? So they are all are elected. Who will elect them? Member of the house. So if a person wants to be an elected speaker of the assembly, so that the assembly by themselves they will elect. Whom they will elect? Amongst their own member. Are getting my point? So they will be elected by the members of assembly. Members of assembly. किसको? To the members among themselves. Baki power of speaker, deputy speaker, everything has been similar to that of an Lok Sabha. Like he has an final interpreter of the how from where he get an power, from what sources speaker get derive its power. I will ask the questions to this statement is applicable to every questions. Answer will be given only by the candidate whom the question is referred. Is it clear? Yes, ma'am. What are the sources through which the speaker derives its power? Okay. Only from the constitutions? Ma'am, any other? Legislative assembly? Parliament? Do the parliament empowers the speaker? Do the parliament or legislative assembly give power to speaker? Rule and procedure of the assembly. Okay, any other? Or only there are only two sources of power to the speaker? Is there any other sources or only two sources? Yes, ma'am. Is there only two sources or any other sources? पहले ये तो बताइए. Is there any other sources from where they derive the power? Conventions, from the conventions. Speaker, from the conventions. Right? Practices, conventions, whatever they will practice. So they will be this. Now, how the chairman will be? Any person can become chairman by election. So they are also elected by whom? By the members, and they will be elect amongst themselves. So to become a chairman of deputy chairman, speaker of deputy speaker of the legislature into the state, all have to be a member of the respective house. Yes or no? Am I clear? ठीक है? Any doubt? Here we will not going to discuss all those कि क्या क्या power है नहीं है. That we all have already been discussed. How their motion सब वैसा ही है. Privilege motion and everything. No day name yet motion, censor motion, short duration discussion, half an hour discussions, question hour, 0 hour, सब ऐसे ही चल रहा है. Exactly the same. So there is no need again to discuss, but we will discuss certain differences जो है वहाँ पर. ठीक है? So one difference you can understand from here, that chairman is in the council is elected, whereas the chairman in the Rajya Sabha, how the anyone can become chairman of Rajya Sabha? Is the chairman of Rajya Sabha is a member of Rajya Sabha? Is the chairman of Rajya Sabha is a member of Rajya Sabha? No. Yes, the Vice President of India is an ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha, so he is not a member. Whereas in the council, the person is a member of the council, Rajya Sabha nahi. Is it clear? Yes or no? Any doubt? Okay. Now, how the office of their members will be vacant? Vacancy of the office in the assembly, members office or chair membership can lose. First, dual membership is not allowed. A person cannot be at the same time member to the parliament and assembly, cannot be also allowed to the membership of both houses. In whatever the cases, he has to resign or have to left. Second, resignations. If a person resign from his seat and submitting his resignations to the respective presiding officer of the house. If a member is from assembly, so submitting his resignation to speaker. If he is from the council, then submitting his resignation to chairman. Right? This is the one. Another way. Two I have given you. I expect from you another ways. Is there any other way? Death. Okay. Other than that, is there any other way? Who will answer? Who will answer? Raise your hand. It's a voluntarily. Okay. Without raising hand, you cannot answer. Next. Removal. तो उसमें तो गवर्नमेंट जाएगी, मेंबरशिप कैसे जाएगा जब हाउस डिसॉल्व ही नहीं होगा तब? Yes, removal through the 10th schedule. Okay. Any other way? Impeachment. Members का impeachment कब से होने लगा? That is only for the president. Resignation has already been discussed. Any other way? नहीं. That has been done. Any other way? G. That is pleasure of governor मैम मिनिस्टर्स होता है, हाउस का मेंबर नहीं होता pleasure of governor. President or governor cannot remove anyone from membership. He or she can only remove a person from holding the ministership. Ministership का loss और membership का loss is both are the different things. Disputes in the elections. Okay. Any other? Other than that, in between, before that completion, that can be understood. Yes, that is, but before that, so lost majority. When the majority will be lost, you are not getting my questions. My question is not how the cabinet lost. My question is how the members lose their membership. वो तो उसके लिए हो गया ना, क्या बोलते हैं, पार्लियामेंट के लिए 89 ऐड कर दीजिए उसमें. More than 2 years criminal case. Yes. और नहीं, that anti defection is a different thing. दल बदल है वो. Any other? Absence without permission for the 60 days. सब याद आ रहा है, ये नहीं आ रहा है. So one of the reason is also absence. If the person is absent, if the member is absent from the house without permissions for the continuation period of 60 days. Like जैसे मान लीजिए इस सेशन में 20 days हुआ, he is absent for 20 days. He is not present for the house meeting. He is not present for this also. What we can say? Just a moment. हाँ, so what we are discussing? membership is has been, so without permission if he has been absent from the house and also from the committee, any committee if he is a member, so then also his membership can be lost. So this all will be applicable to assembly also. Okay, there is nothing that we have to read extra. My question is that suppose in any case that the state assembly does not have a rule recording to any procedure. Try to get the questions. Suppose that there is, like we can say that the residuary power with respect to the in terms of speaker, in terms of Lok Sabha, it is to the speaker. But in case of an state assembly or council where there is no procedure with respect to the any law, then or there is no rules and regulation for any kind of procedure, then what will happen? So in that case they have to follow the rules and regulation procedure of Lok Sabha. If the assembly does not have a rule or procedure for particular, for respect of any matter, so what they have to do, they have to follow the, they can follow the rules and procedure of Lok Sabha. Getting my point? Yes or no? Is it clear? Done? Okay. Now we'll see the this. There one of the power of this legislative. अगर हम bill की बात करें, what are the bill? ठीक है. Here we will see the differences of assembly and council. That is also important. You should know. Here also see the legislative power of the assembly, the legislature. So when we see the this classification, the type of bill will be two: government member and private member. So what you can understand the same can be applicable. Now if we see the classifications, the bill in bill classifications. So if we see the classifications of bill, so here unlike the parliament, what are the number of classifications of a bill in the parliament? Who can answer? 4. One is, I will ask everyone. Yes. Yes, so there are 4 types. In terms of state, there is no constitutional amendment bill. There will be no constitutional amendment bill. Why? Because the states are not allowed to initiate the bill which can, or they have no power to amend the constitutions. So constitutions can only be amended by parliament, not by the state. Yes or no? Clear? So what do they have? So they will have an ordinary bill power, they will have money bill, and also they will have a finance bill. So other than except the constitutional amendment bill, they will have all the bills. ठीक है? Am I clear? In case of money bill, it will be the power. Now I am talking about those states having a bicameral. If a state having a unicameral, there is no need to discuss the council. Are you getting my point? I am talking about only those states where having an bicameral legislations. So you can, if your question is, sir, वहाँ कहाँ जहाँ council नहीं, तो there is no need to talk. It is understandable that all the power went to the assembly only. Yes, because there is no council. So assembly is only the one who can perform. ठीक है? So in case of money bill, there will be similar power as a Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. Only introduced in the assembly. Council cannot reject, cannot amend, only suggest. Getting my point? It cannot delay more than 14 days. ठीक है? So जो हमने देखा था in the parliament with the money bill. Here we have to discuss the ordinary bill. What are the power of with respect to ordinary bill? Are you getting my point? Yes or no? So we will discuss the provisions with respect to ordinary bill. Now this ordinary bill can be introduced in either of the house. Yes or no? I'm again reminding you that we are just discussing where the house has where the state having a bicameral. We're not discussing, because that is understandable, that where a unicameral features, it means that all the power is to the assembly. So in this case, when the bill is been, so ordinary bill can be introduced in either house. So we'll start with the assembly. Let's suppose that ordinary bill is introduced in the assembly. So a case, bill introduced in assembly. Now, when a bill has been introduced in assembly, what will happen after the bill has been passed by the assembly? That is transmitted to the second house. So after passing of the bill from the bill is transmitted to second house, means council. Now, what are the council have power with respect to the assembly bill? Can it reject? No, it cannot reject. So it cannot reject. Getting my point? Yes or no? Right. So what it can do? It can pass. When the bill has been passed by council also, the bill will be deemed to be passed by both the house in the original form. Yes or no? And this will be sent to the governor for his assent. Am I clear? Yes or no? Take. Next, it can amend. It can amend. Now in case of amendment, what will happen? The bill will again go to the assembly, because the bill has originated where they have to give their accept the amendment, because they have introduced the bill, so their acceptance is necessary. I get my point. So in this case, the bill will be the assembly. Now if this bill is in the assembly, so what are the options available with assembly? First, accept. Now if suppose assembly accept the bill, then what will happen? The bill will be deemed to be passed with amendments by both the houses, given to governor. Now again the governor has 4 of the options: assent, withhold, return, or reserve the bill for the president. That we have done. Article 200 we have done. Yes or no? Second option, what assembly have? It can reject either all of the amendments or any of the amendments, Am I clear? Yes or no? ठीक है. Now what will happen if it rejects? Then it will again go to the council, that we have rejected your amendments. Pass the bill in the original form. So if council accept, it will pass. If it reject, no, we will not pass this in original form, you have to accept our amendments. Then it is a case of, there is no case of deadlock between this. So if this happens, suppose this has happened, so it is scenarios of deadlock. You can say this is scenarios of deadlock. So what, and this can be done for the 3 months. So maximum period what the assembly council can hold is for 3 months. If this has not been passed within 3 months, then what will happen? Assembly again pass the bill, same bill. Try to understand this, right? So assembly will again pass the bill and transmit to the council. Getting my point? And for this bill, again the second time bill, it will give 1 month period, 1 month time to council. Within a period of 1 month, either you pass or whatever you can do, you can do. After the loss of 1 month, what will happen? The bill is passed by both the house and given to governor for his signature. Did you get that? Yes or no? What does it mean? It means in case of deadlock, there is no provision of joint sitting between the 2 houses. Assembly has more, assembly has more power than the council. Getting my point? Yes or no? Clear? So no joint sitting provision with respect to ordinary bill in state legislature. Any doubt? बताइए, नहीं ना? तो what is the maximum period the council can hold any bill? 4 month, 3 months तो पहले और बाद में 1 month. तो for the maximum period जब पूरा टोटल कर लेंगे हम तो that is a 4 month. And it cannot hold any bill more than 4 month. ठीक, ये कब था केस? जब bill is been introduced in the assembly. ठीक है. Now suppose bill is introduced in the council. Then what? So let's discuss the second scenarios when ordinary bill is introduced in the council. So bill introduced in council, the council will pass that bill. After passage of the bill, it will be transmitted to assembly. Then assembly, what has the assembly power? If it pass, bill is deemed to be passed and sent to the governor. But if it is rejected by the assembly by any means, the bill will dead. Khalas. So if rejected by the assembly, the bill is dead. Clear? Yes or no? Any doubt? This is a scenarios of bill. जी मैम. अच्छा. Anyone having any doubt? Any questions? If you want, you can ask. नहीं? Because of the two reasons. First, uniformity is not there ना. हर स्टेट में तो है नहीं. तो जिस स्टेट में है उनको एज मिल सकता है. So because of this. Second is that council council leaves on a mercy of assembly. Whenever assembly want, they can pass a resolutions to dissolve. Whenever they want, they can pass a to create. ठीक है. एक रीजन ये है कि the members of the council were also elected by the assembly. है ना. कुछ तो members हैं जो assembly elect कर रहा है. Yes or no? So this is the reasons. Any other questions? ठीक है. Am I clear? Any doubt? नहीं. Now we'll make a comparison. Two comparison. One comparison of assembly and council. Second comparison of council with Rajya Sabha. Because both are the upper house. So we should know why one is required. Questions may arise. Yes or no? So now we'll have a comparison. Though I hate comparison in life, but I love comparison study. I always are keen for the comparative study, but I hate comparison in life. Nah? So now we will start assembly and council. So basic, you just tell me what are the basic differences. Yes, ma'am. You know the difference. I know. But you should also know that you know the answer. How many no's are in this? This is just a joke. आप तो नींद में हैं. बताइए. Yes, ma'am. Basic difference. What do you have come to understand about the assembly and council? That's I want to know. जो advance है that I will let you know. Okay. So it is a tenure, and it is, so we can say that subject to dissolution. Yes or no? This is what you mean? This is permanent. Okay. Chaliye, good. Another. अंगड़ाई क्यों ले रहे हैं? Yes, ma'am. You all exhausted of a long hour study. Think about me. I'm continuously standing, speaking for the longer hour. So I have something in back. So train your mind to be work in these situations. Yes, sir. Ah. Ji. Okay, so we can say that there is a tenure. No tenure. Okay, very good. Okay, very good. हाँ ठीक है बात है. Another difference. तो लाइफ तो एक का टेन्योर एक का है नहीं, तो जिसका है उसी का एक्सटेंड हो सकता है. Yes, so we can say that in terms of elections, directly elected. This is indirectly elected. ये सब you all know, बस I'm just writing. Anything else you want to add? In case of bill, assembly has power, more power in terms of bill. ठीक है, okay. Money bill भी है, ordinary bill भी है, more power in terms of, and this has a less power. More power, this is less power. In terms of money bill and ordinary bill. Okay. और कोई? Anything else? Now just try to think outside the topic. You know this answer also. Just try to link this from the other topic. नहीं. Just link this with the another topic what we have already did. So we will come to know. नहीं? You're not in a position to link? Speaker? No. When I say try to link with another topic, it means go beyond that topic of state assembly. Outside the state, go outside the state. Can you link it to another? नहीं? Yes? बोलिए. अच्छा, at least let me know the topic from where you are linking this. No, not to the Lok Sabha. चलिए राज्यसभा में भी आ गए. Okay. How? How राज्यसभा?
Not member of the Rajya Sabha. Chairman.
नहीं. No. Yes. वो कर लिया, वो हमने कर लिया. I am making differences between assembly and council. So power of assembly and power of council. How power of assembly you have gone to very good place. एकदम exact आप हैं, but बताइए कैसे राज्यसभा में? You know the answer. I know. राज्यसभा में चीफ मिनिस्टर और प्रेसिडेंट. नहीं. नो. चलिए आंसर दिस. हाँ क्या बोलते थे आप? नहीं. आंसर दिस. Who elect Rajya Sabha member? Who elect Rajya Sabha member? This we have done. So who? Indirectly who? assembly participates in election of Rajya Sabha members. They have no participations. Anything else we can do? Anything else? Any differences? Exactly. So they participate in president elections. देखिए अब आप लिंक करने लगे. No participations in president. Anything else or this is the all? हम लिंक कर सकते हैं. According to me there is one more. उस टर्म को आप लोगों ने बहुत बार यूज किया है. No, there is no impeachment involvement of assembly. You know the answer, I know. Sorry? But it is not known by you. अच्छा, anything related to? हाँ बोलिए. Ratification of what? Yes, amendments. There is one federal character that requires a ratification of the state. So assembly ratify the amendments, not the council. So they ratify. Bill. No get chance to ratify. So these are the differences between assembly and council. Getting my point? Is it clear? Yes or no? ठीक है. Let's compare it from the Council of State also. ठीक है. Can we? You're writing. So write it fast. MB, OB, MP. Money bill, ordinary bill, more power. LP, MB and OB, less power with respect to the money bill and ordinary bill. So right. Done? Any question? ठीक है, कैन वी मूव? चलिए, सो देखिए, नाउ विल कंपेयर. सो वी आर मेकिंग कंपैरिजन. राज्यसभा एंड लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल. So Rajya Sabha is also known by another name other than the upper house. Rajya Sabha is also known by the another name other than upper house. Council of State, not Council of Minister. So it is known as an Council of State. What does it mean? It is a representative. So a Rajya Sabha is an representative of state. So it is a part of federal structure. Clear? So we can say that through Rajya Sabha, it represents the interest of states in the parliament. Yes or no? ठीक है? And it is not on a mercy of Lok Sabha. Can Lok Sabha has any power to create or abolish? No. It is not on a mercy of Lok Sabha. When we talk about the council, so council is a representative of? No, nothing. I mean, it is not a representative. So it is just a second body, or we can say that, and second house, or as a second opinion. It's not a part of federal structure. ठीक है? It lives on mercy of assembly and parliament. No equal power with respect to assembly, whereas council has an equal power with respect to Lok Sabha. In majority of the cases, where both the houses have an equal power, yes, no. ठीक है? So this is an differences between the council and Rajya Sabha. हाँ बोलिए. Lives on a mercy of assembly or parliament. जब assembly can, if article 169, yes or no, what is 169? Empowers the creations and abolitions of the council. So it can be created or abolished by the parliament when the assembly passed a resolution with special majority. So it is up to the assembly. If they want, they can create a resolutions, pass a resolution, and they want that council should be abolished. So it kind of, you can say that it is a burden on the state exchequer. कोई और तो काम कर नहीं रहा है, they have no role. So it can add kind of burden on the exchequers. Whereas the council is not a burden. It has giving an federal character. It is representing the interest of the states. ठीक है? Yes or no? This is the comparison of Rajya Sabha and the Legislative Council. Is it clear? Any doubt? Any questions? Yes, ma'am. You are getting looking confused. Writing. That I cannot help. So what you are not getting? Representative of state, federal structure, representation, representing the interest of the states in the parliament, not on mercy of parliament, equal protection with respect to, equal power with respect to Lok Sabha. यही मैं कल पढ़ूँ तो भूल जाऊँगा. What is this? In the council, it is second house or second opinion, not a representative, not a part of the federal structure, lives on a mercy of assembly and parliament, no equal power with respect to assembly. Yes or no? It's clear? So this is, by this we come to an end to our part 6. That is state. We have done executive, we have done legislative. So now you can answer. Now, are you all going through the previous year papers? No. Do you going through previous year paper, prelims or mains? You are in a positions to answer the questions. You are finding some. Is class is helpful related to that with respect to the paper? You are in a positions to answer the questions from the class. Okay, means class is good. So now what is required is by your now efforts by your. Now you need to put efforts and make yourself an Rajya Sabha, not the council. Means useful. Okay. Acha, when we have done the parliament, I think that we don't make a comparison of Rajya Sabha and the Senate, USA, upper house. Na? So let us make a comparison. What is difference between the how a federal, now when we have to compare the federations with the state, in terms of India with the other, so there we can write this also. So let's make one more comparison. So when we talk about Rajya Sabha, that is an India, and Senate. Senate is an name of the upper house of USA. So USA Parliament is known as Congress. So Congress has two houses in USA: House of Representative, lower house, and Senate's upper house. Okay. Parliament of Japan known as DUT, D-U-E-T, DUT. These questions, these are the certain questions now which UPSC is of habit of asking. हाँ, बहुत पर पूछ लेता है. DUT. तो at least कम से कम कांग्रेस हमें, I mean, we should know about the this USA and all because of superpower that they are known as an Congress. What is Congress means? पार्टी. तो यूएसए में पार्टी है वो. Assembly. Congress means gathering of people. That's why the in 1885 the name was given to the Congress because of its assembly, nature of assembly. ठीक है? So this Rajya Sabha, India having, it shows, though it has a character of, it is a part of the federal character, but it not truly federal. Whereas Senate is a true representation of federalism. So how we can say that the Rajya Sabha is not truly federal and Senate is a true representation of federal? So we can understand through this. Senate has a total member strength is 100. Okay. Now what is this Rajya Sabha or Senate is? This is an upper house. So these are also known as an representative. They are what is their objective? Their objective is to represent the interest of state. They are representing the interest of state. Yes or no? So their main objective is to interest of the state should be represented in the parliament where the laws are formulated. So in this terms, the Senate has a maximum strength is 100. Out this 100 members is divided or is been distributed 2 to each 50 states. It means this showing an equal representations of the states. So there are 50 states in the United States, right? And each of the states were allowed to have their representative in the Senate, only 2 members. So each state are represented, given an equal representations, whether they are rich, poor, or whether they are been small or big, does not matter. Where they have a good population or less populations, it's also not matter. Each state will having an equal representations. Am I clear? Right? But when we come to the Rajya Sabha, so we have a 250 members. And how the states were represented? They are represented on the basis of populations. So the states having a more populations will have a more number of representations. So the maximum number of representation from state is 31, which is goes to Uttar Pradesh. And there are minimum number of members represented in Rajya Sabha is 1. There are many, Sikkim, Goa, and many states. So in this scenarios in Indian case, we can say that Rajya Sabha is not in a true sense representing the interest of state. Equal representation is not provided. So we can say no equal representations. Now what does it mean? It means the state who is having a more populations, the state having a huge populations, higher populations, their voice will be heard into the parliament because they have a high number of representations. The states which is controlling the populations, which is working on the populations, which is making development in their state, they are having a less number of representation. It means their voice cannot be heard into the parliament in the government, because this Rajya Sabha is also playing important role in formulations of the law and also in the formulations of government, because they are providing, yes or no, right? अच्छा यहाँ एक आपको similarities बता दो. One thing I got, there is one between this. There is one similarities between this. What? That they both can provide a cabinet. So both means assembly plus council, both provide what? Cabinet. Is it clear? Are you getting my point? Yes or no? So this will hampers. This is hampering the federal structures. Clear? So this is just one comparison which I think that we should know about this. Okay? Any doubt? So by this we come to an end to the state. Now we will start a new topic which is known as a local self-government in the next class. Tomorrow. Thank you. So when we will meet tomorrow, we will meet with the new topic. Ji, you are saying something. And let me remind, you can remind me if I forget anything tomorrow. Any kind of things that which I have assigned you to do. If I forget, so please remind.
We believe that you will not forget.
Okay. So thank you.